Hi everybody, so today we have a new foundation, or is it new? This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. It has been reformulated. Now this might terrify some of the massive fans of this superbly popular foundation. Me personally, it wasn't a favourite. So I'm excited to find out if the reformulation actually makes it a favourite. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to try both of these on side by side so you can see which one looks best. I will give you my full thoughts as I apply it. And I did do a wear test with the new one yesterday, so you can see that as well, and you can see what my thoughts are on this reformulation for me, because like I said, the original wasn't so good for me. I do have combination skin that's mostly dry, and I'm 48, so that's worth knowing. And I've also got fair skin with cool undertones that lean a little bit neutral, if that's helpful to you. So I'm really looking forward to testing this out and showing you today. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Hannah. I don't really need to tell you anymore, I've just given you the information about me, but here on my channel I do show you a lot of luxury makeup and sometimes a little bit of affordable thrown in, lots of swatches, different looks, and predominantly new releases. So if you think you'd enjoy this content, I do upload here several times a week, and I'd be delighted if you did subscribe. But if you're already subscribed, welcome back, thank you so much for being here. And let's now dive straight into this review. So before I move into my review for today, I just want to introduce a brand called Italo, which I've actually brought to you here before on my channel, and I want to thank them for sponsoring this section of the video. So I have got three different pieces to show you, one's a set and one's an individual, so it's a bracelet and a necklace pair. So first of all, before I do anything at all, let me just show you the unboxing and close-ups of these beautiful pieces of jewellery, and then we can talk about the details and try them on. So you can see they are absolutely beautiful and very sparkly and very suitable for party season. So I'm actually filming this as we're heading into Christmas, so I will definitely be wearing mine for Christmas Day this year because it has the sparkle, so I can't wait to try this. So let's start. That's the necklace, so I'll start actually with the bracelet, I think, and then we'll go on to the double necklace. But these are very much, these can be everyday jewellery, but they can also be party, so that's what I've gone for. But if you go on the website, you can definitely go for more everyday jewellery. It doesn't always have to be about the big sparkle. There's lots of wonderful options and it's superbly affordable. And if you're a lover of sterling silver, which I absolutely am, I think all of their products actually are sterling silver. So here is the bracelet that you've already seen. So let me just open this up and get this on my wrist. Gosh, that clasp was so easy to do. And I actually put it on using my left hand, which is useless. Oh, I love that. Look at that sparkle. That is such a sparkly party bracelet. I love it. So with Italo Jewellery, everything that they make is created and designed in-house, and most of it is available online. I don't know if they have stores, but I think the bulk of their products are always available online, which makes it more affordable for them. So that's one of the reasons they bring the cost down. And as I said, they work predominantly with sterling silver, and they create sapphires that have this exceptional shine, and honestly they catch in certain lights and they are absolutely stunning. So the full name of this is the Italo Round Cut Tennis Bracelet, and this, as I said, sterling silver, and it features round cut created white sapphire stones set all the way around, giving that very classic tennis bracelet look. It's very lightweight, very, very comfortable. I can hardly even feel it's there actually, it's very light. The second piece I've got is the double necklace. So we have the matching tennis necklace, and then we're going to layer it. I do love layering necklaces. And I think when you see necklaces like this, you think they're going to be very, very heavy, but going by the bracelet, I'm really not too concerned at all about this one. So let's get this one on. Already I'm just loving the sparkle. I'm loving it. Oh wow. So here it is just worn on its own, and this one is the bezel setting white sapphire round cut layering necklace. set, because I'm going to put the second one on, which you've seen in the video, but just that on its own makes me feel really, really glamorous and sparkly. I love it. But this one I think I would happily wear on its own as well. I think if I was going for less of an evening look, I'd probably take this one off and just go with this one on its own. I can't wait to see what this is going to now look like. This gorgeous one here, layered. So this one is the more delicate pendant necklace. So let's get this one on. I think this might look better under rather than over. I'm trying to decide how to wear it. Unless I bring this up so it's shorter. That's another thing, is you can tailor it to however you want it to look, really, can't you? But I think, so you could have it just going over. It does work nicely over, doesn't it? And then under, I can't decide which I prefer. So when it's over, you might slightly cover some of the smaller sapphires there. I think over is my favourite. What do you think? Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, I love it. Can you tell? So I do have a discount code for you, which I've written down here. I have HanBeauty20, so you can get 20% off this and anything on their website. So I will link these products that I've shown you today in my video description, so you can look for these. But obviously you can peruse through the website, you can grab yourself lots of bargains with 20% off, which is a really good discount, but the prices are already phenomenal and you don't have to spend a small fortune to feel superbly special and like you're wearing the most incredible jewellery ever, because that's what it is. As far as I'm concerned, this is what I buy anyway. I very rarely buy anything that isn't silver, so this is very much me, and it's quite handy actually, preferring silver over gold. But look at her, it's absolutely gorgeous. What do you think? And there's both bracelet and necklace pair. Love them. So thank you so much to Italo for sponsoring this section of my video, and now I will move into my review. So let's first of all talk about the changes in these, and let's first look at the bottles. I haven't closed this one so that the Armani symbol is at the front, and I've done that on purpose so that I know which is which. So this is the new one and this is the old one. So the other difference, and the only difference, is the size of the writing here. So they're very similar. I think it would have been nice if they had just ever so slightly changed it, because I could imagine people picking up the wrong one, thinking it's the reformulated when it's not. So just be aware of that. It's capital letters Armani across the front of the new one. So the shade I've got is 3.75 in each of these, so we can test them both side by side. So this has been a cult classic foundation. I've heard so many people saying it was their wedding day makeup. It's been around for quite some time and people really do love it. Like I said, I didn't hate it, it just never became one of my firm favourites. I never felt it sat that well on me or wore that well on me. Maybe that's changed, as my skin likes to change constantly. So we'll find out today what my thoughts are when I try them side by side. So I'm going to put a picture up now of the ingredients of the two ones side by side as I talk you through the formula changes. So looking at the ingredient structure, the original formula did rely quite heavily on volatile silicones, which gave it that really fluid, lightweight slip that lots of people associate with the classic luminous silk finish. But now we have the reformulated version and the silicone structure has actually changed, and some of the more volatile silicones that are no longer present in this new formula, it now relies on a different silicone system, which typically creates a slightly more cushioned feel on the skin rather than that ultra fluid slip. And the new formula also includes additional ingredients that weren't part of the original, and this does include skincare style ingredients and extra texture refining components. So on paper, this suggests a formula that's doing a little bit more in terms of surface smoothing and long-term skin benefits. So none of this automatically means better or worse, but for me, when I hear that skincare has been introduced, that's immediately something that makes me think I'm going to prefer it, because as you know, if you watch any of my foundation reviews, when that happens to a foundation, be it a new one or a reformulated one, when they add skincare ingredients in, they always seem to work better on my skin. And I always say here that I don't buy them for the skincare benefits. I have a very good skincare routine. It just seems to me that when skincare is added into a foundation, it works better. So you could, for instance, get one of your older foundations that maybe work okay but could be better, especially if you've got mature skin like me and your skin is changing, and you could add a good moisturizer in or add a good serum in, and you might even find that does the trick, because that's the point. It just seems to help your skin absorb it better, it helps it sit better, it stops you getting that caking on top. So there's something about adding the skincare which is really good. Obviously skincare benefits within it is good, but if you've got a good SPF skincare lineup in the morning, chances are your skin's not absorbing all the goodness from it. So I wouldn't think of skincare for me personally as a benefit from that respect. It's a benefit because your skin prefers it and it lasts better, sits better. It certainly does on my skin. So obviously it can also depend on your skin prep. So when I tested this yesterday, I was thinking of going no primer today, but I tested it out yesterday, the brand new one, and I used my trusty Bobbi Brown face base. So I've got it here if you don't know what the packaging's like, my nearly empty one, and it just worked very, very, very well for me. So I've just stuck with that because that's what I would always do this time of year. It's my most trusted primer for winter when we have the heating on and my skin's particularly dry. So that's what I did yesterday and it really worked well, so why change it? So that's what I've done. So both, my whole face is covered in that, so we can now look at the two of them side by side. So I think what I'll do is, yesterday I applied it using the Mario F1 brush, which I thought was particularly good for it. So I will use that for the old one because I already know my thoughts on the new one. Obviously you're going to see them now today. So what I will do is apply with the Mario F1 with the new one, I think on this side, sorry, the original one on this side, and then the new one on that side. And we'll see what we think. So I'm putting one pump on the back of my hand of the original formula. Let's put one pump of the new formula next to it so we can see if it has the same run. I think it's slightly slower the way it ran down my hand, which suggests it's a tiny bit thicker. And do the colours look a little bit different there? This one's new, this one's old. This one is definitely not as pink. I think this one's a better tone for me. This one's definitely a bit yellow. And the new one feels lighter and fresher. So with Mario F1 brush, I'm taking a little bit off the back of my hand of the original and I'm going to put it now on this side. So the original formula did rely quite heavily on volatile silicones and the new one has changed that. So it's going on very lightly. I didn't put much on, as you've seen, and that's pretty much the way I did it yesterday with the new one. So I want to really stick with the same sort of application method of not going too mad and not putting too much on. But we will look to see if it's a bit buildable here as well. And it does apply very nicely with this brush. And it's going on very nicely, the old formula, I have to say. So I would say the only fragrance I really detect with this is that slight sort of almost paint fragrance that you sometimes get with foundations, not bothering me at all. I have to really smell it on my hand to notice it, to be honest. It's going on very well. So when I said I didn't get on with this, has my skin changed maybe? Or was it the fact that it didn't wear that well? Because at the moment, that's gone on very nicely. I maybe can see a hint of cakiness here. Let's take a bit more to see if I can build up here. So it does build, I'd say, to about medium coverage, just about. It does look good, doesn't it? It does look very good. At the moment, maybe my winter skin does love this one, and maybe I tried it more in the summer, I don't know. Like, it's so difficult to know because my skin at my age is changing all the time. But I really like that at the moment. So here is one side complete with a little bit built up here of the original. So now I'll take my Refa LCO3 brush, which is another very trusted brush, and I will apply the new formula on this side. Straight away this feels much more refreshing, which is something I always seem to say about these skincare infused formulas. You get that refreshing, almost cooling sensation, which is the skincare, and it feels It feels really nice, and that always sort of tells me that my skin loves it, and I think straight away my skin has lapped it up. I had to do a little bit more work on that side, I think. Not much, but a little bit more work to get it to go in. Look at that, it's already gone in. I think this is definitely sitting a bit more flat immediately, and this is looking a little bit more natural. This has a different smell as well. It doesn't smell of that sort of paint smell. You can definitely smell more of a sort of light skincare smell. It's quite pleasant, but very, very light. So I'll take a little bit more on the brush just here to show you if it's buildable. I don't personally feel I need to. I think that light layer was perfect, but I will do it just to show you. And it does build. It does build probably exactly the same as the original did, to be fair. Maybe a little bit more quickly. But yeah, it does build. I feel like it looked better before adding that extra layer, if I'm honest. I just didn't really need it. It looks a little bit heavier there. So when I go in and do the rest of my makeup, I do usually use a sponge to take off excess. So when you see my final look, you will see that excess reduced. So I'm just taking a little bit now to just go around the eye area, because I'm not using the Mario F1 brush, so I can't just go into that small end. I'm just using my, is this my Zoeva brush? Yeah, the Zoeva Concealer Buffer brush. This really does look very, very nice. Already on the chin, you know, I can see a key difference. This side looks a bit more heavy and cakey, and this side looks much more natural. Can you see that? Can you see the difference? Definitely a difference. So there we have one side done with the new one. What do you think? I'm definitely preferring the new one. I really am. This side is good, but already I'm concerned about the chin. If it's starting to look like that now, it's going to keep getting worse, and that would probably confirm why I've never really returned to it. It's not hideous, but it's not my favourite. But this side is looking so much better. So much better. Not much of a glow. Probably doesn't need an awful lot of powder to set it down either. I would say tacky feel pretty similar actually. So what I'll do now is I will continue with the rest of my full makeup. Before I set the full face, I will come back to show you so you can see how it's looking. I'll let you know then if I think it needs setting. If you know me, you know I will set it because that's what I do, but I'll let you know if you don't like to set a full face, whether I think it's necessary. So I'll see you when I've done that. So here is my full face done with the old Armani Luminous Silk and with the new. I would say all products worked with it, apart from one actually, which was the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Concealer, which actually argued with both foundations, which was a bit strange because that doesn't usually argue with anything. So it's worth noting that. I put some here to chisel where I put contour, and it just pilled and really argued quite a lot. So I took it all off and I reapplied them. I just put nothing else on top. That doesn't normally happen, so just keep that in mind. If you use a concealer on top or other products, sometimes it's not necessarily the foundation that's caused you the problem, it's using the two together, because I do think the Beautiful Skin has some sort of skincare in. Maybe it's just arguing with the ingredients of these. But anyway, apart from that, they've both gone on very nicely. And I do still slightly prefer the side with the new formula, although they both look really good. But I do think this one has more of a sort of natural glow. And the chin area just still looks a little bit more cakey on the side of the old one compared with the side of the new one, which makes it a lot more promising for end of day results. I am filming this one the day before Christmas Eve, so what I'm going to do for you today is show you my wear test with the new formula from yesterday, so you can see it at 8 and 12 hours. So I've got some long wear tests to show you. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to film a shorts reel today showing me trying these two on as well. But at the end of that shorts reel, I will include a check-in for both sides, an evening check-in. So that will be going out tomorrow. So look out for that if you want to see the evening check-in. But also keep in mind, I'm going to be thoroughly testing the new formula over the month of January, and it will come up in my end of month January review. So look out for that as well. And if you want to message me in the meantime, anytime on Instagram, Instagram's the best place, han.beauty101. I always reply to messages there. So, and I mean messages, not comments on videos. Sometimes I miss comments on videos on Instagram. I try not to, but sometimes I do. But I always reply to messages, direct messages. So if you want any answers about any products, that's the best way to get them from me. If you're impatient to wait till the end of the month because you want to try this reformulation. But anyway, so far I think it is really beautiful. But let me show you my check-in video for the new one. So here it is. So this is an 8-hour wear test. In fact, we're more like 9 hours at this point with the Armani Luminous Silk, the reformulated, and it's wearing beautifully, really beautifully. I've just looked now in the magnification mirror. I've got no caking at all. The only slightest tiny thing I can pick up on is in the line there, the tiniest bit. With the magnification mirror, I don't think you'd spot it. If I even zoomed in now, I don't think you'd see it. I do feel like a little bit has gone off my chin, so maybe it hasn't lasted as well as it could, but I haven't used any sort of setting spray, so it has slightly worn there. I am quite rough on my chin, as in I'm always touching it, and I've eaten a few meals that weren't too messy, I have to say that actually. But anyway, so my chin is looking a bit red, so maybe it does need a setting spray to lock it down. Today I used the Bobbi Brown face base and it seems to have worked very well with that. I've got very light coverage. I've applied it with a brush. I used the Mario F1 brush. I think my skin looks really, really, really natural as well. I don't think it looks like I've got a lot of makeup on. I haven't got a lot of makeup on, that's the fact. And a light layer of it is really beautiful actually. I'm very, very pleased with it. And I think this does just show that changing these foundations to the sort of skincare infused ones on my skin definitely works very well. So this could be very popular with mature skin people like myself and dry skin and combination. As for oily, I can never really tell you that because I've only got a tiny bit of an oily T-zone, and to be perfectly honest, it's not very oily at the moment. I'm mostly dry. But anyway, this wear test is held up really nicely. So there we go. What do you think? Just doing an extra check-in. This is 12 hours and I just checked myself in the mirror before going up to bed, and this light can be quite unforgiving. Look at my skin. Look at it. I'm so impressed by it. I feel like it's got better throughout the day. It's just so natural and the finish is so beautiful. I feel like I'm looking at this like there's a filter on the camera right now. I can assure you there isn't. I love it. I love it. Who'd have thought? Is this snuck in right at the end of the year and taken top spot? Has it stolen the limelight from Victoria Beckham? That's not likely, but I will have to do them side by side to decide that at some point, even though they're quite different. But look at it. 12 hours. So you can see there, I was absolutely blown away by the new formula, and I know I was never blown away by the new one, so I'll be quite surprised when I do my end of day check-in for these two sides if I think this side looks as amazing as I thought this side looked last night. Although it is worth also noting, yesterday when I did my check, I was wearing these from Chantecaille, which I reviewed that day yesterday, and these are the Cheek Gelée. And whilst I wasn't madly in love with them, throughout the day I just thought, wow, they look really good. So one of the things that made my cheeks look really good yesterday was that as well. So I have to give a little bit of credit to that when I show you those videos. Well, you've seen them when I film those videos, especially the evening check-in, which was so late in the day. But anyway, I do think that both sides look really good at the moment. But I do also feel that it's very tacky, both sides. I could not leave this. It would drive me berserk. I mean, let's do a hair test. See? Well, it's been quite a while now, so I have to set it. Otherwise I will spend all day peeling my hair off my face and I just can't stand it. So let's put some powder on. I've got the Chanel setting powder here. So let's just set the whole area, maybe add a bit of powder blush on because I've only got a cream blush on at the moment and the powder will take that down. So I'm only doing a very light dusting here with my Chikuhodo brush, so not the BK Beauty one I usually use, which does give me more of a heavy dusting. So this is just giving me a light sort of feathering if you like. So that light dusting is enough for me to lose the tackiness. So I didn't need a lot. And I don't actually think I need to reapply the blush either because I didn't put enough powder for me to feel it was necessary. So a very light dusting and that's fine. So At the moment, I still prefer this side. Can you just see there's a little bit more of a glow on that side than there is on this side? I do have a slightly glowy blush on, but you don't see the glow on the original side. It definitely sits more flat and it definitely looks more cakey on the chin there. If you can see that, if I zoom in on the chin, this side is definitely not as good as it. So the new formulation is an absolute winner for me, as you can see from my jacket. So my current thinking is this is phenomenal, but please let me test this out more. So this is an initial thought. So I'm telling you how it wore for me yesterday, how it's worn on top of that Bobbi Brown face base, how it's worked with other products. And today we've looked at how it looks side by side with the original formula. And look out for my shorts reel, which will be going out on Christmas Eve actually. So this one's going out the day before Christmas Eve, and tomorrow Christmas Eve I will get that one out. So today I filmed the side by side, but tonight I will film the check-in and add it to that shorts reel, so you'll be able to see how they wore and get my final verdict. But my current verdict on this video is absolutely Reformulation is phenomenal. I love it. I love it. It's actually gone to my favourites. I said in that earlier clip, will it replace Victoria Beckham? No, I can't see it doing that. But I definitely think I should try a video at some point trying them out side by side so I can just see what my impressions of them are. They are very different. I don't think it's quite as natural as the Victoria Beckham, but it's got that wow factor for longevity and the way it looks in the evening when you just feel like it looks so good. There's no caking and just still so glowy and natural and perfecting. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. And that's how the Victoria Beckham makes me feel. So I definitely need to try them side by side to see which one I really love the most by the end of the day. But if it doesn't replace Victoria Beckham, it's going to be very close up there in the top, I think. That's how much I love it. So before we close off 2025, I have an absolute winner. Isn't that exciting? So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope you found it helpful. Like I said, please message me if that's helpful at all. And this will be my last video going out to you before Christmas. The last one I'm filming actually. There is going to be a Christmas Eve special, which is something I can't tell you about. So you will be getting a video, a long form video on Christmas Eve, along with my last Handmas video, along with the check-in video trying on these two as well. So you're getting 3 videos from me on Christmas Eve if you've got time to watch them, but if you don't, maybe you're watching after Christmas. But if this is the last time I speak to you before Christmas Eve, I hope you have an Christmas Day. I hope you have an incredible Christmas. I really, really do. And I can't wait to talk to you all about your Christmas and mine in the new year or after Christmas, because I'll be back before the new year, I think. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. But if you already are, you're at the end of another video and I'm so grateful to you. I truly, truly am. And I hope to see all of you again for the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.